हेलो फ्रेंड्स, जैसा कि आपको पता है LIC HFL जूनियर असिस्टेंट का एडमिट कार्ड आउट हो गया है और उसका वन ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट्स इज कंप्यूटर नॉलेज। सो पहले हम देख लेते हैं सिलेबस क्या है। इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज, लॉजिकल रीजनिंग, जनरल अवेयरनेस, न्यूमेरिकल एबिलिटी, कंप्यूटर स्किल्स, 40 40 40 40 40 क्वेश्चंस ऑफ ईच सेक्शन। 5 सेक्शंस इंग्लिश, रीजनिंग, GA। स्पेशल फोकस है हाउसिंग फाइनेंस में बिकॉज इट इज HFL. Numerical ability is quants and computer skills. So computer skills is what this playlist is going to be about. Computer skills के बारे में इस playlist में चर्चा करेंगे. So 40 questions are there, 40 marks for all of these sections. So each question will contain 1 mark each and the duration is 120 minutes. मतलब 2 hours में आपको इन 5 sections को complete करना है. So one of those sections is computer skills. पहले हम देख लेते हैं LIC HFL में सिलेबस क्या है कंप्यूटर नॉलेज का। बेसिक्स ऑफ कंप्यूटर्स, इनपुट एंड आउटपुट डिवाइसेस, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ऑफिस, वर्ड, एक्सेल, पावर पॉइंट, इंटरनेट एंड नेटवर्किंग, कंप्यूटर एब्रिविएशंस, सॉफ्टवेयर एंड हार्डवेयर फंडामेंटल्स, कंप्यूटर सिक्योरिटी बेसिक्स। अब ये सिर्फ LIC HFL में नहीं है, बहुत सारे अदर बैंक एग्जाम्स में भी कंप्यूटर नॉलेज पूछा जाता है, तो ये सब उसमें भी काम आएगा। तो हम देखते हैं ये 30 क्वेश्चंस क्या है। ये इसका पहला वीडियो है इस सीरीज का, बेसिक्स ऑफ कंप्यूटर्स। सो इसमें हम कवर करेंगे बेसिक्स ऑफ कंप्यूटर्स के 30 क्वेश्चंस। पहला क्वेश्चन आपके स्क्रीन पे, व्हाट इज द ब्रेन ऑफ द कंप्यूटर? मॉनिटर, कीबोर्ड, CPU, माउस। What is the brain of the computer? The brain of the computer is CPU. CPU stands for Central Processing Unit. It is known as the brain of the computer because it performs all calculations, processing and control operations. सब कुछ perform करता है, calculation लेके processing, control सब कुछ. So CPU, Central Processing Unit, is our answer. Which of the following is an example of system software? MS Word, Windows, PowerPoint, Excel. What is the example of system software? So the example is Windows. Windows is an operating system and system software. It helps manage computer hardware and software resources. Windows जैसा कि आप यूज करते हैं आपके लैपटॉप में, वो एक ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम है। एंड ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम मीन्स इट इज अ सिस्टम सॉफ्टवेयर, सिस्टम का सॉफ्टवेयर है और ये आपको कंप्यूटर हार्डवेयर एंड सॉफ्टवेयर रिसोर्सेज मैनेज करने में हेल्प करता है। Question 3. Which memory is temporary in nature? ROM, hard disk, RAM and DVD. Which one is temporary in nature? So आपका आंसर होगा RAM. RAM is volatile memory that stores data temporarily while the computer is running. RAM मतलब है random access memory. ये एक volatile memory होता है. Volatile means it is changing. So ये तभी डेटा स्टोर करता है temporarily, that is कुछ समय के लिए, while the computer is running, जब कंप्यूटर रन करता है। Question 4. Full form of CPU is Central Processing Unit, Central Process Unit, Central Processing Unit, Computer Processing Unit या Control Processing Unit. So आपका आंसर होगा Central Processing Unit. CPU stands for Central Processing Unit. It processes instructions and performs calculations, जैसा कि आपने पहले क्वेश्चन में देखा था। Question 5. Which device displays output? Keyboard, scanner, monitor और mouse. कौन सा डिवाइस आपको आउटपुट देता है? आउटपुट देता है आपको मॉनिटर। बाकी के डिवाइसेस क्या है? कीबोर्ड आपसे इनपुट लेता है, स्कैनर भी आपसे इनपुट लेता है। इनपुट मतलब जो आप उसको देते हो, whatever you feed to that device. स्कैनर को आप इनपुट देते हो। जब भी आप जेरोक्स करने जाते हो, आपका जेरोक्स कॉपी वो उस स्कैनर पे रखते हैं, दैट इज व्हाई यू आर गिविंग इनपुट टू दैट स्कैनर। माउस में भी आप इनपुट देते हो, आप क्लिक करते हो, सो यू आर गिविंग दैट इनपुट टू द माउस। बट मॉनिटर पे आप कुछ इनपुट नहीं देते बिकॉज दैट इज अ स्क्रीन, यू सी योर आउटपुट इन अ मॉनिटर, आप सब कुछ देख पाते हो उस मॉनिटर पे। सो मॉनिटर इज एन आउटपुट डिवाइस यूज्ड टू डिस्प्ले इंफॉर्मेशन विजुअली। Which generation of computers use transistors? First, second, third, fourth. कौन सी जनरेशन कंप्यूटर में ट्रांजिस्टर यूज करता है? So the answer would be second generation. Second generation computers use transistors instead of vacuum tubes, making them faster and smaller. That means the previous generations used to use vacuum tubes instead of transistors. पहले के generations vacuum tubes use करते थे, second generation के computer transistors use करते हैं because they are faster and smaller. Question 7. Binary language consists of 0 and 1, A and B, 1 and 2, A and 1. So the answer would be 0 and 1 because binary means 2. Computers understand binary language which uses only 2 digits, 0 and 1. So जब भी आप WhatsApp में कोई मैसेज भेजते हो वो एक्चुअली जाता है 0 and 1 के फॉर्म में. Question 8. Which of the following is not a storage device? Hard disk, pen drive, monitor, CD. कौन सा स्टोरेज डिवाइस नहीं है इन सब में? So the answer is monitor because monitor is an output device and does not store anything, does not store any data. बाकी सब डिवाइसेस डेटा स्टोर करते हैं, हार्ड डिस्क, पेन ड्राइव, सीडी, इस सब में डेटा स्टोरिंग पॉसिबल है, बट मॉनिटर में इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल. Who is known as the father of computers? Charles Babbage, Bill Gates, Alan Turing, Steve Jobs. So father of computers है Charles Babbage because he designed the analytical engine and is known as the father of computers. उन्होंने analytical engine डिजाइन किया था. अब why I am showing you these explanations is because इसी question से if you read the explanation you might get a question like who designed the analytical engine. So you can directly know from this explanation itself that it is Charles Babbage. Question 10. Which key is used to refresh a computer screen? F1, F2, F5, F12 किससे refresh होता है आपका screen? It is F5, commonly used to refresh web pages and screens. Question 11. The physical components of a computer are software, hardware, programs, applications. Physical component कौन सा होता है? Physical component is hardware, something you can hold. Physical parts such as monitor, keyboard, CPU are called hardware. जो आप हाथ में होल्ड कर सकते हो रियल लाइफ में. Which memory is non-volatile? RAM, cache, ROM, register. Non-volatile memory होता है ROM because it is a read-only memory, retains stored information even when power is switched off. That means ये changing नहीं है, जैसे कि RAM changing होता है, it is volatile. ROM is non-volatile. Even if the switch is off, आप disconnect कर देते हो power, still that information will be stored in this ROM read-only memory. Which is the smallest unit of data? Byte, bit, KB और MB. Smallest कौन सा होता है? Smallest is bit. Bit is the smallest unit of data and can have a value of either 0 or 1. 1 byte is equals to 4 bits, 8 bits, 16 bits or 32 bits. So the answer would be 1 byte is equals to 8 bit. So 1 byte consists of 8 bits. So अगर आपको किसी ने पूछा what is the how many bits do 3 bytes contain? So it will be 3 into 8, 24 bits. 3 byte contains 24 bits because 1 byte contains 8 bits. Which device is used to enter text? Mouse, monitor, keyboard या फिर printer? कौन सा आप enter करते हो text देखने के लिए? Keyboard पे obviously आप enter करते हो. Keyboard is the standard input device used for typing text. ALU stands for Arithmetic Logical Unit, Array Logic Unit, Arithmetic Link Unit, Application Logic Unit. So the answer would be Arithmetic Logic Unit. ALU performs arithmetic and logical operations in the CPU. जो भी प्लस माइनस एडिशन सब्सट्रैक्शन जो भी आप करते हो मोबाइल पे कैलकुलेटर पे वो सब ALU के द्वारा किया जाता है. That all things plus minus addition division subtraction is done using ALU, Arithmetic Logical Unit. Because it's arithmetic operation, right? And we are doing some logical work. Which storage device has the largest capacity? CD, DVD, Blu-ray, floppy disk. Which has the largest capacity among them? That would be Blu-ray. Blu-ray discs can store more data compared to CDs and DVDs. CDs and DVDs से भी ज़्यादा Blu-rays में store होता है. Which computer is the most powerful? Mini computer, supercomputer, microcomputer or laptop? The most powerful is supercomputers. You have heard about this, right? Supercomputers are used for highly complex calculations and simulations. So, जो भी complex calculations किया जाता है वो supercomputers के द्वारा किया जाता है. These computers are the new generation computers. Which device is used for pointing and clicking? Keyboard, printer, mouse and CPU. Which is used for pointing and clicking? We all know it is mouse. Mouse is used for pointing device used to interact with graphical interfaces. Graphical interface में जैसे कि मैं आपको ये दिखा रही हूँ, this is an interface, इसको एक interface बोलते हैं और इसमें मैं point कर करके आपको दिखा रही हूँ, जैसे कि एक हाथ देख सकते हैं आप इधर, right? So see, these questions are a bit easy because this is basics of computer. The more we go into the playlist, we are going to encounter tougher questions. Okay. Which software helps users perform tasks? System software, application software, firmware, or BIOS? So, how to perform tasks? Which software is used? It will be application software. Application software helps users perform specific tasks like typing or calculations. So, typing calculations वो सब application software के द्वारा किया जाता है. One thing I wanted to ask is, are you more preferred in English or Hindi? Whichever you will prefer, जो आप prefer करोगे English में पढ़ाओ या हिंदी, that I will teach from now on. If you like English more or you are more comfortable in English, I will teach in English. If you are more comfortable in Hindi, I will teach in Hindi. But if you want, then I can teach in both. But सारे questions, it is not possible to teach both in Hindi and English, right? So if I am encountering anything that is tough, जो थोड़ा tough है, उसको मैं हिंदी and English दोनों में ही समझा रही हूँ. Which of the following is an operating system? Linux, Oracle, MS SQL, or Chrome? Which among them is an operating system? We all know it is Linux. Linux is an operating system used to manage hardware and software resources. So any operating system is actually used to manage hardware and software resources. One of them is Linux. What are the other two? Android, which we all use, and some are the high-end ones which are in iPhone, that is Mac OS or iOS for phones. Which memory is fastest? RAM, ROM, cache and hard disk. So among these, fastest होता है cache memory because cache is extremely fast and stores frequently accessed data. जो भी data आप बार बार access करते हो वो cache memory में store होता है. One example of that would be जब भी आप कोई ऐप फोन पे ओपन करते हो या आप सोचिए इतने सारे टैब्स मैंने ओपन करके रखा है, फाइल एक्सप्लोरर, OBS स्टूडियो, this Adobe reader, all of these are stored in the cache memory because I can easily access it. अगर मैं फाइल एक्सप्लोरर ओपन करने जाऊँ, it's not going to load. I can directly open it. But अगर मैं अभी Chrome ओपन करने जाऊँ, it's going to load for at least a few milliseconds. उसके बाद वो ओपन होगा, इसलिए वो कैश मेमोरी में स्टोर नहीं है. जो भी एप्लीकेशंस मैं अभी फ्रीक्वेंटली यूज कर रही हूँ वो कैश मेमोरी में स्टोर्ड है. Question 23. Which device prints hard copy? Scanner, plotter, printer, monitor. We all know that it would be printer. Printers are output devices that produce hard copies on paper. That is Xerox. Hard copy मतलब जो आप हाथ में ले सकते हो. The first page of website is called home page, web page, browser or link. The first page is obviously called the home page because जब भी आप any application के home में जाते हो उसको home page कहते हैं. Home page is the main introductory page of website. Which company developed Windows? Apple, IBM, Microsoft or Intel? अब Apple तो नहीं होगा because Apple is the main competitor. So we all know that Windows laptop के साथ हमेशा Microsoft free आता है. So Microsoft Corporation developed the Windows operating system. Which is not an operating system? Android, Windows, Linux or MS Word? Which is not operating system is MS Word. It is one application, not an operating system. Which of the following is a portable storage? SSD, pen drive, ROM or RAM? So the portable storage among them is pen drive. Portable मतलब जो आप हर जगह ले जा सकते हो. Obviously pen drive आप ले जा सकते हो. So these are portable devices used for storing and transferring data. What does GUI stand for? Graphical User Interface, General User Interface, Graphical Universe Interface, Graphical User Input. So GUI stands for Graphical User Interface. This is the GUI because I am interacting with this. So GUI allows users to interact with computers through icons and menus. Interact means जैसे कि I can click on it, click on any icon, right, or menu, and I can scroll on it. Which of the following is used to process data? CPU, printer, scanner or mouse? So process कौन सा करता है? CPU. CPU processes the data and instructions given to the computer central processing unit. Last question is the term booting means shutting down computer, restarting printer, starting the computer or formatting disk. So आप जब भी boot करते हो आपके computer को, what does it do? It starts the computer, right? Boot is the process of starting or restarting a computer. So these were all the 30 MCQs for our first topic, Basics of Computer. So आपका फर्स्ट टॉपिक कवर हो गया, इसके बाद रिवीजन भी होगा, लेकिन पहले हम सारे टॉपिक्स के 30 MCQs कवर करेंगे, उसके बाद हम लोग टोटल वन शॉट्स पे जाएंगे. So input and output devices is going to be our next topic. Okay, thank you. Please stay subscribed.